safe drinking water supply through water safety plans. Although it is not directly related to climate change, but nevertheless this is an important aspect, that urban water supply, how to ensure that the water supply that we make is safe. I'll show some of the striking pictures. To begin with, I'll say, since morning we have been discussing, the major issue which comes to my mind is the issue of survival. And our survival of life, if we don't remain on this earth, whether climate change or no climate change doesn't matter to us. So survival of life on earth depends on three natural resources. These are the natural resources. See this underlined thing: air, water and food. And the relative importance I have shown there, what is that? We cannot live for more than 5 minutes without air, 5 days without water and 5 weeks without food. That is there, and inversely proportional is their cost also. Therefore, air, water and food must forever constitute the survival basis of all human races on this earth. We will die without them, therefore we will pay whatever is required in terms of time, effort and money. Their importance lies in that they are not manufactured, they are natural, and they have limited assimilative capacity and limited supportive capacity. The reference was made to us carrying capacity based. We need to think whether our earth is carrying capacity of earth in terms of the human population is, when will it exceed? Projections are 9 billion is the population where it will stabilize. After that, maybe there will be decrease, maybe there will be, but whether we can support 9 billion people on this earth with the resources that we have to our, if we see, this is a national average of India, has presented already that data, with 2% world's land area and 4% freshwater resources, 18% of population today we are supporting in India. Therefore, this we are at 1140 in 2050 projected. Right now we are above, we are safe. In some areas maybe there will be problem, but the situation warrants management. This is just to show this thing. Agriculture 65% world average, in India it is much higher. Industry 25 and domestic 10%. That is the available this. And the population is projected to stabilize at 9 billion. With 9 billion, whether we will be able to support the water at present level of usage, 150 LPCD for domestic use. I am concerned with domestic use majorly, because agriculture cannot be stopped. I will show you the water problem is also going to be a hunger problem. This small calculation here indicates that it's not sustainable. We will not be able to survive with that kind of water supply. Either the water availability per capita will go drastically down, or we cannot support this much population, or we have to tap other resources of water. This is just to show the disparity of water the world over. This, if you see, 25 million refugees were displaced due to contaminated rivers last year. I took last year, which is much more than they were forced to flee from the war-prone areas. And it is said that we are going to run out of water before we run out of oil. Till recently, 10 years back, oil was the problem. Now water has become a problem all of a sudden. Groundwater in many countries have almost gone. Therefore, depleted aquifers lead to cutbacks in grain harvests, and which leads to more food shortages and higher prices. Therefore, is our water problem becoming into a hunger problem, food problem? The other important aspect is water quality. Some mention was made of water quality. Studies have been done using Qual2E. In the morning somebody presented that, but that is in the river water quality. We are concerned about the most important water usage is for drinking purpose. We must meet that criteria, and this is the stringent criteria that the water has to meet for drinking purpose, because waterborne diseases are the major killer even today, despite all our efforts and all care that we take. See, this is 2007, waterborne disease kills 13,000, kids in a year. This was Kathmandu. This is Delhi last year. Situation is bad. It was bad. I am from Delhi, and I have witnessed this situation. In my office on 28th of August there, for 5 days there was no water supply, all contaminated water supply due to sewage. There was a mixing of sewage with the water supply line. God knows how, but there was incidence. And 5 days we were not having any water supply. These are the urban water supply situations. Similarly, such advisories are issued in Bombay. Calm rains and these advisories are there. Boil the water, do this, do that. Despite all the efforts, this is the situation. This is how we get water in developing world. And the water which we get is this. So quality is very important. Apart from man-made interventions or pollution aspects of this, there are geogenic nature of problems with water quality, particularly in groundwater. This is arsenic. It has been reported that the arsenic problem is no more a problem of West Bengal, it is spreading. All through the Indo-Gangetic belt, this problem is going to crop up in next 20, 30 years if we don't take care now. There is another problem, fluoride. I was in Rajasthan earlier, Jaipur, and we were working on fluorosis, fluoride, excess fluoride in water. This is the problem they are causing. See, this lady is daughter of this lady. She was married to a village where the water supply had high fluoride. Therefore, in 10 years' time, this is the situation. Same is the situation here. This lady is the daughter of this lady. And these are the case studies from our study done in Jaipur. Therefore, my point is that the water quality is an important aspect and we cannot miss the water quality so far as drinking water is concerned. For irrigation water also there is a quality and there is a BIS standard which we must follow. And it's not surprising that most of the water is not able to meet the quality criteria. And therefore, there cannot be a law. We don't have any law on water quality. So therefore, how to supply safe drinking water in the urban areas? This is only for urban areas. There can be a different water safety plan for rural areas. Historically, what we have been doing is chlorination. This is I have bypassed the public water systems, public water supply systems. They were invented in 1900, around that time. And after that, there were epidemics. And then we came to know that chlorine is the solution. Chlorination of water before supply is the solution to keep healthy, to keep water in good quality. Traditionally, we have been doing this. It relies heavily on the end product testing at the tap. We go to the house, take a sample from tap, test it for bacteriology because the source per se does not have the chemical pollution. Otherwise, that source will be rejected. The major is the microbial quality. We do that, take the sample from tap, send it to the lab for test. The test results are available tomorrow. Water is supplied today. What happens if I come to know tomorrow that the water which was supplied yesterday was contaminated, that has been drunk already? If it had to do harm, it has already done the harm. So it's really a pseudo safety. We have to take care through other means. This fact probably was recognized by WHO, and in their third edition of WHO World Health Organization is being issued the guidelines or based on which the standards in various countries, different countries are formulated by the governments.
5 more minutes.
They say the most effective means of consistently ensuring safety of drinking water supply is through the use of a comprehensive risk assessment and risk management approach that encompasses all steps in water supply from catchment to consumer. So that is the catchment to consumer. Now what is catchment to consumer is this, from catchment, river supply, the complete catchment and then through the river, water supply and up to the supply point. There are three key elements that WHO framework has presented. This health-based targets, water safety plans, and independent surveillance. And how they are interlinked are explained in their guideline books. I will not go into the details. This presentation will be available. Primarily, it is based on HACCP model, which is applied for the food industry, food packaging industry. There are 5 key steps: health-based targets, system assessment, operational monitoring of the control measures in the supply chain, management plans, and system of independent surveillance. In the developing countries, it is difficult to have independent surveillance. Therefore, surveillance work will also be done by the supplier only. So, that is actually quality assurance. That is the framework. This is the most important. Adequate, acceptable risk is input to this. Then this is your environmental exposure and public health status. These 3 things go into this. This is a iterative cycle. I am sorry, I will have to bypass a lot of slides. Now, this is the steps for development of water safety plan, forming the water supply steering group. This we did in Hyderabad. Hyderabad is a city very near here. We did as a pilot study. And this is the approach that we followed. It is a GIS based approach that we have followed, and these are the inputs to that, and this is the framework which we have adopted. 3 models are available in that, and the output will be this sort of static risk map. A dynamic risk map also can be developed day to day, which will show. This map indicates that which area is prone to breakages, prone to maybe contamination, and which needs more care. Sources of contamination, I will just show some slides on that from the study in Delhi that I have collected. These are the sub conditions of water supply lines. Full flowing sewers. See this, these are the conditions of water supply pipelines which are supplying water to house. This is a PSB. Believe me, this is a water supply pipeline. These are the situations in our water treatment plants. And there are 3 approaches described in the literature: HACCP, IRA-WDS, and SANMAN. We adopted IRA-WDS model, which I have shown, and this is the seepage model, PCA model, pipe condition assessment model, and zone model. Based on that, the results are, these are the GIS images that go into the as input, and what output we get is this kind of risk assessment map. And from that we compute based on the table exercise that what could go wrong where are the control points. Now, these are the attractive features of water safety plan, that why we should go adopt for safety plans. In India, there is not a single city or not a single water supply area, despite a lot of things being talked, that adopts this practice. We still are doing the same old way of water safety, testing the end product at the tap, which really is not a safety against the diseases. Thank you for listening.